reach on back, try and touch the floor back as far as you can with your foot.
Yeah.
But without coming back onto it and springing off.
Yeah.
Just come on down, touch down lightly for a little bit of balance, then bring your knee up, squeeze and hold, reach on back, touch the floor as far back as you can, and then bring it on out. So now you see how you step back a little bit?
Yes.
Just try to touch back without actually stepping back. Just touch with your toe.
Oh, I'm engaging this though, not my glutes. Oh, okay.
Keep up with it. Great that you're engaging your core. You're probably feeling your core a lot because of all the work we've done. Soft, bend that right knee so that you can reach back and touch the ground. See now you've got your weights in your left foot.
Yeah.
Just keep your weights in your right leg. Reach back and just touch behind you. It's just a touch. Try not to step back at all.
Yeah.
And you have to bend this knee to actually reach back. The more you want to reach back, the more you have to bend forward to balance and bend that knee.
Yeah.
So rather than coming back like
Probably
this.
need my ankle support brace on for this because it's really hurting. I'm not getting that support there where I need it.
Yep.
Don't hurt.
Yeah. Yeah. Because I can really in there.
What do you feel? Muscles working?
In there. Yeah, probably my ligament down into there. Let's feel it there.
You feel something working?
I've got this resistance there because I still don't have that flexibility back yet. So it's hurting in there. It feels like it's locked, and so it's hurting right where it's locked. So I don't know how to explain it.
I'll just keep going.
Yeah.
Part of me saying, don't get sued, but but that's the thing with the brace, it does all the work for you. So now you're not actually doing a lot of movement through your ankle, which is great, but you have to start getting these stabilised to fire up. And so you're still locked with a flat foot. The fact that you're coming up and actually feeling something in here is kind of an indication that it's working.
That it needs more flexibility there, and
Oh,
it's pushing on that.
You're not doing a lot of bending through there, it's just starting to engage to create that arch in your foot, which helps point your knee in the right direction.
Yeah.
So again, you'll have to start bending forward to reach back and touch lightly without actually...
That's probably why, because that's the movement that I've got at the moment. I can't get that foot up anymore where I can get that one up heaps. So that's it.
Let's see it.
So when I'm doing
Let's
that
see.
movement,
Let's
it's
see.
pushing
Just
it.
reach back as far as you can. Which, if it's 1 foot, that's fine.
Hey?
If it's 30 centimetres, that's fine. Just reach on. Yeah, come up. There you go. Squeeze. Good. See how you're creating that arch in your right foot?
Yeah, feel it.
Now reach back just a little bit. Just touch the ground. Bend your right knee to touch the ground. Good. And then bring it up.
Yeah, so I can definitely feel the ligaments and that starting to move there when I'm doing it. So that's probably why it's hurting, because I haven't probably engaged them properly for a while because I've got that limited movement. So.
Yep. Let's do it.
All right.
I get pain in those ligaments sometimes.
Yeah, it's because
they
99% of the time they're asleep when you use them. Touch. See, that's it. Bring it back up from there. Good. Touch where you did, but lighter.
Yeah, my balance is like way off.
Yep. Touch. Just a little light touch. Just come up. Good. Yeah. It's this knee continually locking out.
Yeah.
So trying to keep it soft. And just a little touch back there. Yep. So if coming this way, to reach back you have to bend that knee over the toe, but you can just use the bench so that your knee stays exactly where it is through the whole movement. You touch the bench, get your balance, make sure that knee's out nice and wide, and then bring yourself up to here. Just make sure you're not standing on the edge of your mat, so you're nice and flat. Good. Now,
which my physio told me not to do.
What's that?
He doesn't want my foot flat. He wants me to have the support. I mean, he told me I was still wearing thongs.
I meant instead of half standing on that mat.
Oh, okay.
Half not, yeah.
Right.
Now, what you said was before interesting when you said I don't want my hips to shift.
Yeah.
Now, you're standing on 1 foot, so if you just lift one leg up, you fall over this way, right?
Yeah.
So you have to get your centre of gravity, your hips and everything over your foot.
Yeah.
And
Which
then,
I'm not used to doing on this foot
and then
anymore.
do the exercise, yeah?
Yeah. knee wants to bend is when I do that.
Yep.
Trying to balance.
So trying to push it out.
Your
makes
foot
it
trying to
go
want to
way
go
off
like
balance.
It's hard to
So put it down,
train
lift it up behind you,
to not.
and keep going until your hands are on the bench. No, back, left leg goes back. Yep. Good. So now your foot's over there and your hands are over here. So hands are here. Soften that knee. Relax through your shoulders. Knee out. Good. So now pull your shoulders back and then squeeze the air over your belly button. And come up standing using your glutes. Get your hands off first. There you go. Good. Is that acceptable for your range of motion?
Didn't actually hurt my ankle too much when I was more immobile, so I wasn't rocking as much, so it didn't hurt that. And it made me concentrate more on engaging the glutes rather than this is going to hurt your ankle.
Yeah. So we have for you some success. Yeah. Easy. You stand on that leg.
Yeah.
Keep it out. Down. Engage. And you can start doing something. Well, it's easy to use up time.
My foot's just so wobbly. You know, like,
Yeah.
I just get so like wiggly wobbly in my foot. So if I use my toes to plant a bit more, but
99.9% of people have this issue, and 99.9% of people wear shoes.
Try
so if you don't wear shoes, your feet get stronger.
Yeah, if you don't wear shoes, your feet get used for what they're designed. Otherwise, they go asleep, and you're not using those little fibres, or you quickly walk from one foot to the other. So spending time on one leg, using your foot when you're running, you should land kind of flat. All the weight's on the outside. You spring off on your feet, and your feet become your suspension, keeping the weight on your toes. Because the heel is just a big hard piece of bone with a little bit of cushioning. So if all the weight's on that, then you're gonna, it hurts, right? So without shoes put this big cushion under your heel. Without shoes, you put more weight in your forefoot, and these muscles start to work and engage. And so our environment, or the comfort and convenience of shoes, is screwing us hugely. So barefoot's the way to go. And like your brace, like I say, train this, feel that muscle get tired, it's great. Wear your brace later on, but you can take it off and start to pay attention to some exercise, a little bit of range of motion.
Yeah.
Especially the balance part. Balance is huge because it's telling the right muscles to fire quickly, so that they're engaged before you start overloading it. So, real quickly, let's look at your shoulders. I'll just give you bang for buck exercise. Your shoulder issues, neck.
Fractured my C6 years ago, and it's pinching on my radial nerve, and that's kind of giving me almost like frozen shoulder symptoms. So I've been trying to get that movement. Haven't been able to do my hair for about 6 months now. Yeah. So that range of movement in my shoulder is really hard, and actually holding things while I'm moving my arm around has been really tricky. So.
And you're uneven too, Danny. You can see that left shoulder sitting up high. So one thing you can do, my sister had this too. Now when you got a, come here, Melanie.
Oh, show you.
When you hold a kid like this all the time, you bring your right shoulder across, and then these muscles sit really tight. And then your neck here is holding all the time.
Yeah.
And so my sister had this from holding the one kid. Then you're propped up on a hip, and so you start messing all these things up. This glute's not on at all. All my weight's in the left leg. That one's not really on either. I don't do this too often, do I? So, yeah, all sorts of things going on. Then you start getting long on one side and tight on the other. So your lower back gets all skew-if, and so on. Thank you.
Thanks, Melanie.
And so I was holding my niece one time, and I realised how much you actually have to roll the shoulder forward and get tight in here. Now we all have issues, tightness in your chest here, tightness in the neck. Everyone gets the tightness from typing away, and then you get all those tension headaches and things like that. And then you go, right, I need to strengthen my back. But if you are in this position and you keep trying to strengthen it, you miss out on pulling your shoulder blades back, and you start working on the lats, and the lats join onto your arm. So this big muscle here makes people look big and wide, and they think they're huge, but they just have terrible posture. And then tight neck and a tight chest. Those three muscles all roll you in, get you tight, and cause a lot of issues and pain and things like that. So my sister couldn't do any exercise. This just drives me nuts. You're going to the doctor and your physio, and you're waiting for scans and appointments, and nothing is really giving you any alleviation, and you feel like you can't even do something like a small push-up to actually just start something, right? And then doctors say, just don't lift weights, don't do any exercise, but it doesn't really give you a solution. So the number one thing I would do is hold a bit of weight in your hand and try and relax and let that drop down and start alleviating your neck. Try and make sure your shoulder's back so you're getting longer through the top of your pec here, which joins to your clavicle, and start rolling on back. So do you want to try that, Mel? You change this one?
This one.
All right, have you held 8 kilos
I
lately?
used to do.
But lately?
No.
Lately, no?
No.
Oh, I don't want you to do anything that you haven't done. I just want you to do what you have done, but better. So let's just say you've been doing this for a while. Hang on to that.
Yep.
Good. So you roll that shoulder back. Start taking some deep breaths. Exhale so the core rolls back. You're going to soften those knees.
Not straight.
See, your knees not even there. That's it. Rotate it out. Good. You exhale, your belly button goes back. You tuck your glutes under. And now, again, bad posture means that your thumbs roll in. So you start trying to open your hand up a little bit. How's that feel?
It's a nice stretch.
Yeah.
I can feel that the muscles in my forearm haven't been used in a while. So it's a nice stretch there too.
So this way you're getting a stretch, and you haven't even changed your range of motion. So before you start throwing your arms around, people go, I can't lift my arms up here. You're just opening up without even doing anything excessive or outrageous.
Yeah, it feels nice. All down there. It's really good because I haven't had much motion to try and get my head even near here. So
it's a hard one too, 'cause, there's different sternocleidomastoid muscle in there that you're trying to stretch, but to really get that upper trap loosening, some weight in your arms is pretty good. Do you want to give that a go, Danny? Try it on this side, because you can see looking at you that this one's
he's so out of alignment.
right up. And I wouldn't say it's like your spine right away, but just tightness in.
Shoulders dropped.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, that's a good point too. Maybe it's this one isn't. So try and roll that right back. Or just stand up straight. Just try and roll that shoulder back and squeeze. So a bit of engagement. This one lifts up a bit. And how's that feel in your left side?
Looks about to fall out of the socket.
Yeah. Just get that one square.
I can't even work out when I'm straight.
It looks straight now.
Does
Can you just walk around with one of them one time?
Maybe we
You
should
look
get
great.
Feel better?
Declan,
It feels unnatural to me because I've been uneven for so long.
Declan.
I think, yeah. I'm still straight. It feels wrong.
It looks normal.
And I'd even be aware that this shoulder hasn't dropped. So you get a really good stretch. You can also just do small shrugs and go right back down and really feel that stretch and open up each time. Rather than shrugging. Again, if this one gets too tight, it starts to create that problem. With that unevenness, just have a go on that side. And then just come up and down without going forward. You start to engage these ones. So maybe it's the case of these ones being asleep and letting that shoulder drop, as well as that one being tense and going up too high.